Euphorbiaceae, the flowers are definitely the source, the unisexual male flowers, unisexual female flowers, and bisexual flowers. The family belongs to the monosexualis, unisexualis. So all the members of the family, they possess the unisexual flowers, either male, both male and female flowers. In the unisexual male flowers, only androecium is present. Only androecium. Only androecium is present. So, and the female unisexual female flowers, only gynoecium is present. So, for unisexual male and unisexual female, both the flowers are present on the same axis. So, that is croton. Example is croton. Okay, croton. In the case of croton, both the unisexual male flowers and unisexual female flowers, both are present. In the case of Jatropha, bisexual flowers are present. Jatropha. Okay, Jatropha. So, that is a biodiesel plant, Jatropha. Possess, and also the ricinus. Okay, ricinus. So they having bisexual flowers, both androecium and gynoecium are both present on the same flower. So in this way, the flower possesses the unisexual male flowers, unisexual female flowers, and bisexual flowers. And the flowers are pedicellate. Pedicellate, flowers are pedicellate. And flowers are bractate. Okay, flowers are bractate, flowers are pedicellate, and hypogynous flowers, hypogynous flowers, and actinomorphic, and especially flowers are pentamerous. Okay, pentamerous. So these are the important features of the flowers of the Euphorbiaceae, right? And the next Achlamydeous flowers, the Euphorbiaceae family belongs to the Monoclamidae. Monoclamidae means calyx and corolla both are considered as a perianth. The perianth is in single whorl. So this is the Monoclamidaeous means perianth is single whorl. In the Achlamydeous flowers are present in cyathium inflorescence. Okay, cyathium inflorescence. Cyathium. In the case of cyathium inflorescence, male and female flowers are there. They don't have any perianth. Okay, perianth is absent in. Perianth is absent. Okay, absent in Monoclamidaeous flowers. Example is Euphorbia. Euphorbia. Okay, in the case of Euphorbia, cyathium inflorescence is there. Male and female flowers are different, and perianth is totally absent. Right? So those are considered as Achlamydeous flowers. In the case of so that is Euphorbia and Poinsettia. Okay, Euphorbia and Poinsettia, that is example. And the next Monoclamidaeous flowers. If the calyx and corolla both are in the single whorl, so that is considered as a Monoclamidaeous. In the single whorl, that is Monoclamidaeous. Example is in the case of croton. Okay, in the case of croton, female flower. In the case of croton, female flower having only Monoclamidaeous. So Monoclamidaeous, female flowers. And Dichlamydeous means the flower having two whorls of perianth, so that is considered as a Dichlamydeous flowers. In the case of croton, Bonpandiana, male flowers. Okay, male flowers. The perianth is into two whorls, calyx and corolla both are present in this example. Croton male flowers, Dichlamydeous. Croton female flower is Monoclamidaeous. Right? So this is about the perianth, and the perianth is in valvate or imbricate in eastivation. Imbricate eastivation, valvate or imbricate eastivation. Okay, they having a valvate or a imbricate eastivation. Right. The next one is aneurysm. The case of euphorbiaceae, the aneurysm is very special. Aneurysm, aclimatis, unisexual male flowers are there. Unisexual male flowers. Unisexual male flowers having only aneurysm. Okay, only aneurysm. The aneurysm is present. Only aneurysm is present. The second point is the case of cyathium. Okay, cyathium. Unisexual male flowers are in. Unisexual male flowers are in. Okay, unisexual male flowers. Unisexual male flowers in monocaseal cyme. Monocaseal cyme manner. Monocaseal cyme manner. So in this case, the anthers are dithecous. So this is the anther lobe. Anther filament, and this is anther sac. So it is dithecous. Dithecous, right? And it is porous dehiscence or longitudinal dehiscence. Longitudinal dehiscence. Longitudinal dehiscence are a porous dehiscence. Right? So the aneurysm, unisexual male flowers are there. In the case of cyathium, only unisexual male flowers are present. They having a single stamen, and anther sacs are dithecous, and anther filament is there. The anthers are dehiscence longitudinal or porous. Right? So this is about the aneurysm. And the next gynoecium. In the euphorbiaceae, gynoecium is so special, very particular and very significant. So that is the gynoecium is tricarpellary. Okay, tricarpellary, trilocular, syncarpous. Okay, syncarpous, tricarpellary, trilocular, syncarpous, and superior ovary. Superior ovary is present. And very most important character is the style is divided into 3 branches. Style. Okay, style is divided into 3 branches. And every branch, every branch bifid stigma. Every branch having bifid stigma. So this is bifid stigma. Understand? The gynoecium is tricarpellary, trilocular, syncarpous ovary, and superior ovary, and the style is divided into 3 branches. Each and every branch is bifid like this. So this is the bifid, and this one is another branch, and this one is the another branch like this. So this is the gynoecium. And very important point is the placentation is axial placentation is present. Okay, axial placentation. Okay, axial placentation is present. So this is in all members of the Euphorbiaceae family, they possess the same character. So it is very very important point of the Euphorbiaceae, right? And the next fruit. In the case of Euphorbiaceae, all the members of the family, the fruit is very important. That is schizocarpic fruit. The fruit is divided into three small units. So these are three small units. Okay, mericarp. So these are mericarps. Every mericarp is considered as a cocoon. C-A-C-C-O-N, cocoon, right? So the name of the fruit is regma. This type of fruit is considered as a regma, right? The fruit is a schizocarpic fruit, and they divided into three mericarps, three small units. Every unit is considered as a cocoon, and this type of fruit is considered as a regma. It is a dry fruit. It is a dry fruit, dehiscent fruit, dry fruit and dehiscent fruit, dry fruit and dehiscent fruit. That is regma, divided into three small mericarps, right? So this is about the important fruit of the family is regma. So this is very very important. All the members of the family, they must possess the regma fruit. But in the case of amla, imblica, okay, in the case of amla or imblica, okay, imblica, the fruit is berry. Okay, fruit is berry. So this is the a peculiar character. It is the berry, right? So next, seeds. Okay, seeds. Seeds are dicotyledonous, that having two cartilagens, and endospermic seeds. And one more point is, in the case of resinous and some members of the family, the seeds are possess the oil reserve food materials, oil reserve food materials. Okay, materials. That is resinous means castor, resinous, and also jatropha. These seeds possess the oily reserve materials, and the jatropha is considered as a biodiesel, and the resinous is we are preparing for castor oil. Okay, right? So this is about the seeds. Next, economic importance of the family. The Euphorbiaceae members very useful to the mankind in different areas. Those are, the first one is rubber yielding plants and fruit yielding plants. Third one is food yielding plants and medicinal plants. Fourth one is medicinal plants, and fifth one is ornamental plants for gardening. And sixth one, biodiesel plants are very very important to generate biodiesel. And the seventh one is oil yielding plants, castor yielding plants. So the first one is rubber yielding plants. Maximum amount of the maximum rubber yielding we are getting, maximum rubber we are getting from the rubber yielding plants. So that is hevea. The first one is hevea. Hevea is a rubber tree. It is maximum cultivating in our India. That is, Kerala is in top place. Entire world, Brazil. Okay, Brazil is the first for the rubber production. Brazil and Amazon. Okay, and hevea is the rubber tree. We are getting rubber from the hevea, latex from the hevea latex. Okay, latex of the hevea. And the second one is manhart. Manhart we are getting para rubber. Okay, para rubber from the manhart. So these are two rubber yielding plants. And the next one is fruits. The fruit yielding plant is Umbilica. Umbilica is a fruit yielding tree. Umbilica. Okay, Umbilica or Amla. The fruits are very very valuable and medicated. They are useful for preparation of different Ayurvedic medicines. Okay, and food healing plants are nothing but manhart. Okay, the manhart roots, reserving. Okay, reserving carbohydrates. So they are eatable. Carbohydrates, they are eatable and very, very useful for the humankind. And medicinal plants, so many number of medicinal plants are there. So those are Phyllanthus. Okay, Phyllanthus and Euphorbia. Okay, Euphorbia, Phyllanthus and Amla. These are very, very important medicinal plants to cure so many diseases. For example, Phyllanthus is very important for to cure jaundice. Important for to cure jaundice, and Euphorbia also for to cure different type of skin diseases. And Amla is a medicated fruit. And ornamental plant, we are getting ornamental, so those are Acalypha. Acalypha is there. Acalypha species are we are cultivating for gardening, for nursery, for development of the nursery. Different colors are there. Different colors of the Acalypha we are cultivating for the ornamental plants. And biodiesel plant is there. So those are Jatropha. Okay, Jatropha, government providing subsidy for to cultivation of the Jatropha. The seeds are utilized for the biodiesel. We are getting biodiesel from the Jatropha seeds, right? And oil yielding plants is nothing but so ricinus. Okay, ricinus is there. It is a castor plant. We are getting castor from the Ricinus communicus. So these are the maximum uses of this family. Okay, medicinal economic importance of the family. And this family is very, very important. And the economic importance is they will ask for 5 marks. The total lesson for 10 marks. Okay, and follow the lesson, write the notes and prepare the notes, and all the best. Thank you.